Rubio had a busy weekend. He made the rounds all over TV. He had 7 Sunday talk show appearances, all of them devoted to trying to sell a bipartisan immigration reform plan. With his national profile rapidly growing, the talk about 2016, that's when the next presidential race is, in case you've forgotten, is growing too. Chris Frates covers Congress for National Journal, and Ruth Marcus is an editorial writer and my colleague at the Washington Post. Chris, I want to start with you. I was fascinated. Marco Rubio was asked, isn't this good for him if he can help bring immigration reform to law? Isn't this good for his presidential prospects? And he said, oh, I don't think about that. Should we take him at his word?
Well, you know, the best follow-up question I saw on those Sunday shows was Candy saying, seriously? You don't think about that? Because clearly he is laying down a marker that says, I am a reasonable Republican. He's betting that the Tea Party furor of just say no is over, and it's going to be in 2016 the reasonable Republicans who want to make policy and can sell big ideas to the electorate that is going to make him a winner and make him stand out what's shaping up to be a pretty crowded field. So I think certainly he cannot consider any of the moves he's about to make in these next few weeks on immigration reform without that calculus in the back of his head.
And just FYI, folks, there's politics and everything. Now, Ruth, I want to play you something. I know. Ruth, you're stunned. I want to play you something that Jeff Sessions, senator from Alabama, had to say about the immigration bill over the weekend. Let's play it. We'll come back and talk about it.
I really respect the work of the Gang of Eight, but they have produced a legislation, it appears, although it looks like now it may be another week before we see it, that will give amnesty now, legalize everyone that's here effectively today, and then there's a promise of enforcement in the future. Even if you pass laws today that appear to be effective, it doesn't mean that they're going to be enforced.
So, Ruth, I circled the word 3 times. That means it's important. That will give amnesty now. So you saw Marco Rubio. He spent a lot of time on every one of these shows saying this is an amnesty. Amnesty is when you give something free. This is a path to citizenship. But Jeff Sessions articulates a point that is not sort of way outside the mainstream in the Senate. Can Marco Rubio convince his Republican colleagues that it's a path to citizenship does not equal amnesty?
I think he can. I think he can for a bunch of reasons. The border is way more secure than it used to be. Technology has made it easier to make that border secure. The pressures of illegal immigration are way down. We have net zero migration from Mexico. People are going in and out. I think immigration is a hot button issue. Unlike guns, the temperature on immigration has gone way down. It's not going to be a clear glide path, but I think it's doable. And the main reason it's doable, guess what, Chris? It's politics.
Yeah.
It's the White House.
Ruth.
It is. It's the White House in 2016.
And you know what's so interesting? I think you make a great point. The passion surrounding guns versus the passion surrounding immigration are 2 different things. Chris, I want to come back to you on immigration. And more, I think so many people assume, well, they're going to introduce this bill. Gang of Eight introduces this bill tomorrow or Wednesday. Done deal. Everything's fine. But Jeff Sessions, Mike Lee from Utah, a lot of Republicans have voiced concerns about this, including maybe it should be done in a more piecemeal approach. That is, take a piece of it here, a piece of there. Don't try to do a big package. First of all, is there any likelihood that's going to be the approach either now or going forward? And B, should that be the approach strategically in terms of getting something passed through the Senate?
Well, I think strategically taking a big universal approach, a comprehensive approach to immigration reform is what is needed, because these issues are all entangled. If you increase worker visas for high tech, what do you do for lower skilled workers? All those things, you can't do one without touching the other. And we saw this back in 2007 when you had John McCain and Ted Kennedy working on a comprehensive deal. You started to see the same kind of doubting Thomases that Jeff Sessions has been. That was the ultimate undoing of a comprehensive bill. This idea that, well, is it amnesty? And what is the pathway? And what are we giving folks? Are they jumping ahead in line? Now, certainly Marco Rubio is making a case that they are not jumping ahead. In fact, it would be easier and cheaper for them to leave the country, go back to their home country, apply for a visa, and then re-enter. So he's trying to make it a case that this is going to be a tougher thing for folks to hang around and wait at the back of the line. But certainly doing it piecemeal would be very, very tough. But I was talking to an old Senate hand the other day who said that he thinks no issue is harder than immigration to get around because it's emotional, and while the temperature is down right now, certainly it will come back up again when the debate starts in full.
And I would say, Chris, good point there. I would say watch conservative talk radio. Conservative talk radio defeated comprehensive immigration reform in 2007. How did they come out on this, particularly with Rubio, on the path to citizenship side?